Welcome to a Trucker's Mind podcast. I'm Eddie McGee.
It's your boy K Finks.
And we're back, man. Episode 417.
Yes, sir.
Let's get right into it. Are you talking into your mic?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. You can hear me, right?
Yep.
All right, that's the best sound check we got. We don't have producers besides me and Keith.
Yep.
Let's do it. All right. The most viral news or the most popular news right now is Drewski. The internet sketch comedian has made his latest subject Erica Kirk. I mean, basically, it was his rendition, I guess you could say, of a conservative white woman, but he was basically just spoofing Erica Kirk. There was a lot of people that had some mixed reviews about it. A lot of people thought it was hilarious, me being one of them, but there was a lot of people like Ted Cruz that did not like it and thought it was classless. Here's the problem, and this is just my personal take. In order to be taken seriously, you gotta move a certain way. I think a lot of people couldn't take what she was doing seriously. There was a lot of weird behavior in regards to how she was mourning. And first of all, nobody mourns exactly the same. But when it looks a little ingenuine, that's when people start having their antennas go up. And I've been seeing Candace Owens just completely dismantling a bunch of people on the internet lately. I've never really been a huge fan of Candace Owens. I'm just an objective listener. But Candace Owens has gained a lot of new fans lately because she's just been very objective. She completely unsubscribed from a lot of things, but she talked a lot about Erica Kirk and how things are weird and how she was acting weird with this and how she got caught in a lie. So when you got somebody like Candace Owens that's attacking you and then you got everybody else seeing what's going on, eventually somebody like Drewski is going to pick up on these things and his social commentary will be broken down in like a satirical action, such as like his own art. So he was he was pulling through a Starbucks drive-through with the dog. He was like, I like organic pup cup and organic pup cup. And you can hear the dude in the background. He was like, organic. His shit was crazy. And then everything else he was doing, a lot of it was parallel with what we've seen Erica doing. Like when he's like, you shouldn't be feeling bad for being a man, a young white man, whatever. And he was basically like, because white men matter, nobody else matter, whatever. And it was a black dude in the background. And he was like, huh? What the fuck? Yeah, so, a lot of people didn't like it. But I'll say this, too. There was some commentary where people said, you know, black people, if we did this to you, you guys would scream racism and blah, blah, blah. It's like, first of all, you already did it. Clearly, you don't know what a minstrel show is, number one. And number two, a lot of times people did blackface, white people did blackface. It wasn't to be like, it wasn't satire. Sometimes it was satire, but it was just based in complete racism. Like, for example, the movie Birth of a Nation that came out in 1915, and the first screening for it was in the White House. That movie depicted black men as rapists of white women, like they were savage hunters of white women. And Woodrow Wilson said that it was insanely accurate. I want to quote him directly. Like, this is the thing. People really forget the origins of blackface and how bad it was. Birth of a Nation, Woodrow Wilson. In 1950, President Woodrow Wilson hosted the first ever White House screening of Birth of a Nation, a film notorious for its racist portrayal of African Americans and glorification of the Ku Klux Klan. Though the famous quote, it is the writing history this is what he said in quote, it is like writing history with lightning, is sometimes disputed. Wilson allegedly praised the film, which was based on a book by his friend Thomas Dixon. So the original screening for this type of shit was in the actual White House. So this is how bad it is. And but I will say this. You can't depict or make black people this just big sensitive, black people just scream racism if it was them. Well, I got to push back on that. Because there was a movie that came out called Tropic Thunder with Robert Downey Jr., who was basically in blackface. And none of us got offended by it. I don't know how he did it, but he did such a great job that none of us was like, hey, that's racist. Black people actually took it pretty well. But I think that he got away with it because of how he did the role. Like, the way the role was played was like he was he was playing a black dude within a movie, based within a movie. It was like a double layer. So I think that's how we interpreted what he was doing, and we never got offended. But sometimes he started doing the voices so good, you just think it's a character. You can kind of get lost in it. And it's like, one time he was like, "You people, what do you mean, you people?" Oh my God, that shit was, it was a good job. But yeah, but there's my thing. Oh, go ahead, Keith. Go ahead. I know you guys speak on this.
Yeah, I was just looking at it again. Okay. I think Drewski is in a position where, like, he is, he doesn't really have to say anything. He's a person who's kind of like, I'm primarily speaking through my, through my artwork and through my comedy. And, I don't know if it was that deep. Like, I don't know if he's trying to make this huge political statement, but I just think that most people, I think comedians are people that find the irony or find the funny in things that we see, right? And I think that most people were looking at Erica Kirk and just looking at her like, dang, she kind of moving a little weird for her husband to just, have just passed away.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And I also think, like, it's not only Erica Kirk, right? Like, same thing with the mega church skit. Like, it wasn't any, like, one specific pastor. He's pulling from, like, different people in that way. And I think same thing with this, like, Erica Kirk in a couple other little segments, but also just like these type of, women in general, I think he's kind of making fun of. But yeah, I think if you can't really be mad at Drewski. I think that I genuinely think that white people should not be offended by anything because they are the authors of our history. So I just don't. It's kind of hard to make a comparison, but if you're the person that has been in all the wars, has taken over all the land, has been, the majority in America for however long, you have the majority of the wealth, you have the majority of the land, and, everything is kind of like, there was literally laws that were like catering towards you,
right?
Especially if you're a white man. I just wouldn't be offended by anything. You know what I mean? Like I just don't. If I'm like the person that's riding the ship, like I'm not being offended by anything.
But I will say this: it depends on your vantage point. I don't think that that's like a white person's vantage point. They just feel like they're just living life. They don't because of how history was taught and everything. They don't feel responsible for any of that. So they don't view it as if we're getting all these things. In a way, they feel oppressed. There are some white people that feel oppressed. And I will say this, as far as being racist, I don't think that black people could be racist and it will affect white people. I think that black people could be racially insensitive and say some shit that's fucked up. Absolutely.
I think because most of this stuff is systematic.
Right.
So when a lot of people say, like, reverse racism or anything that's like that, real. Like, it's a lot bigger than saying, like, the N-word. You know what I mean? It's like a whole system put in place, whether it's laws that make it so that black people can't vote or laws that make it so that black people can be enslaved only if they break the law. You know, like these are
the 13th Amendment.
These are like systematic things that are like that are racist. So like it's bigger than just like, discriminating or not liking black people to sit at the same table.
Well, hold on. Here's the pushback. The pushback is, why do black people complain about things from so long ago? Like, that's so long ago. I think that's invalidation, number one. But number two, in order to understand history, you have to understand the landscape that it creates. Like, there are things that can happen today that literally were affecting people 150 years ago, and now they're coming back. I don't know why I'm bringing this up, but I thought about this recently. Are you familiar with Bikini Atoll?
Mm-mm.
Bikini Atoll is Bikini Bottom from SpongeBob. That's pretty much what it's based off of. Bikini Atoll is a place where the United States tested multiple nuclear bombs. They tested over 23 nuclear bombs, and they had the people in that land. They took them off the land so they could test that place, right? So ultimately, what they ended up doing is all of the pieces of soil and land that were contaminated with nuclear waste. They put them on this little small island and they covered it with a big old plate. It's like a ginormous freaking concrete plate that's covering that soil so it won't contaminate the water. However, what they found within the most recent years is that the concrete that's covering the contaminated nuclear soil is cracked. And if it's cracked, it could start leaking and it could leach into the ocean. So something from fucking 1940 something can affect the current landscape. That's the point I'm making, right? People don't understand that the way or the infancy of America or the beginning stages all the way up to the 30s, 40s, 50s, all that time can affect today. You know, and I don't think the history has been properly taught, so people don't understand. But beyond all that, let's not veer off too far. When it comes down to Drewski, I think he did something as well that was, not talked about as much. I think a lot of times you'll hear somebody, and it'd probably be like some white dude he might get busted saying something that's racist or something. He's like, you know what? I'm not fucking racist. My neighbor is black. Like, my neighbor is black. I have black coworkers. And they're like, what? This nigga Drewski made this skit about Erica Kirk and then posted his white grandpa. And he was like, did I go too far? And it's like, oh my God, this nigga's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I like it. I like what he's doing. I think that he's, I think that he is going to ruffle some feathers. And the same thing that happened with the church. Like, people love their church and they love, they love the Lord, especially black people. And it was like mixed reviews on the last one. But I think he's in a space where like Dave Chappelle was, when he had the Chappelle Show come out. And it was different then because it was just people talking. It wasn't like, the social media wasn't as rampant. So it wasn't like there was no virality to like the clips or anything. We're just watching it on TV and, we're showing up at school and talking about it or talking about it with the friends or the homies or we're watching the DVDs back. I remember my brother had all the seasons of the Chappelle Show and we would just pop the DVDs in and watch it. And that was the end all be all. You didn't really hear like the other side of it, like people that were offended or whatever. So I think this is kind of like that in 2026, and I think it's good. I think that art is supposed to ruffle some feathers.
Absolutely.
And I would be curious. Like he doesn't talk about it, and I don't necessarily want him to talk about it because it kind of dilutes the content. But like person to person, I would be curious to talk to him about it. Like, yo, like what are you thinking when you're putting these skits together?
I think when you create any art, you have to be very, I would say this skit he did was a lot different than every other skit he's ever done. Being is like, I don't want to say it was like cinematic, but it was like really, like very well put together. Like they put some production value into this shit.
Yeah, I feel like the most recent ones have been that though.
Yeah,
like with the mega church, like you could tell he's putting money into it, and hiring actors and stuff.
Yeah, he is definitely. And there's some people in the church that got offended by what Drewski did.
Yeah, so
it's like, bro, that's just a part of it. Also, people have used their art to make points. Like even Tupac, before he died, he addressed Bob Dole. But Bob Dole has said, he replied or he considered like rap. Destructive and this and that. Matter of fact, let me look that up. Tupac, Bob Dole. Bob Dole was a prominent U.S. politician who famously criticized Tupac Shakur and other rappers in the mid-1990s, citing their lyrics as promoting violence and misogyny, specifically targeting artists under an Interscope Records label. Tupac responded to this political scrutiny by directly mentioning Dole in his music. Yeah, so he's like, how do you want it? And in the song that Tupac mentioned him in, like he really had no business mentioning Bob Dole in that song. The song is called How Do You Want It? Basically, it's a sexual song. Yeah. So he veered off of the sexual theme to talk about Bob Dole. Yeah. Because the song is, how do you feel? Is it up to the nigga in the fast lane, living in the fast lane? I'm for real. This nigga come out second verse. And Mr. Bob Dole. Like, why are you bringing up Bob Dole on a sex song, Tupac? What the fuck, man?
Funny. Yeah.
Mr. Bob Dole.
Shout out Tupac.
Directly addressing him, Bob Dole, you too old to understand the way the game is told. You're lame. You see that interview with Cameron and Dame Dash, and they were talking to oh my god, it's that fucking asshole that used to be on Fox News.
I'm not sure who you're talking about.
Oh my god. He got in some serious trouble. Like he got like some sexual allegations or some shit. Watch this. I just got so many things I had to look up within the beginning of the podcast. Cameron Dame Dash interview on Fox. Bill O'Reilly. Bill O'Reilly. On that interview, Bill was like, so what do you think about this? And he was just fast talking him. You know, when you go on a lot of those the more right-wing platforms, they'll fast talk you. So what do you think about gangster rap? And they'll be like, I mean, when it come to gangster rap, and then what does that mean to the youth? What does that do to the universe, the people there? And how does that affect them? Like, they think that doing those rapid-fire questions is going to throw you off.
Yeah.
So they tried that shit with Cameron, and he's like, I'm telling you what I'm talking about, man. Like, I don't know, like, I'm trying to tell you what I'm talking about. and then Dame Dash is like, that's not the problem. It's not the problem. What was basically, hold on. What I'm saying is basically, and then
you can't out-talk Dame Dash.
No, you can't. And then Cameron started fucking with Bill O'Reilly. He was like, you mad, nah, you mad, you crazy, man. Come on, man. And Bill O'Reilly wasn't ready for it. They rage baited the fuck out of that nigga. Anybody listen to this pod, go back and watch that interview with Cameron, Dame Dash, and Bill O'Reilly. That interview came out in like 2005. I think it had to be 04 or 05, one of them. I was like, this is hilarious. Drewski, keep doing what you're doing, man. That's what art is supposed to be. It's gonna offend people. People are not gonna like it. And I think that I think the most offensive thing was him putting on the white face.
Yeah.
That's the most offensive thing, but the white face, when black people do it, it has zero power behind it. Zero. Zero power behind it. You could say, oh, it's racially insensitive and this and that. But when white people did blackface back in the day, it hurt our image because people started believing that we were rapists of white women. They started believing that we were savages and stupid idiots that couldn't fucking read.
Yeah.
Right? This just based on how we were depicted.
Read,
Whenever you control the narrative and you act like somebody else, it makes it 10 times worse for those people. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, I think we'll hear more about this. We might have to revisit this topic next week. I think that this is what I believe. I believe the leader of the free world is going to address Drewski. That's what I think. I think that he's like, that stupid fat idiot, Drewski, what a guy. He's a fat piece of shit. Some people, they need to delete his account, get him off. Like, I really think that he's going to get addressed. So, yeah, that's what we're looking for next. That's my prediction. He's going to be addressed, and then Erica's going to, like, double down, except she might have some more, like, extra fake tears this time.
Yeah.
And she'll be like, you know what? Regardless of what people try to say about me, I'm going to stand up for the men, for the white male men out there, and I'm not putting up with this anymore. And they're going to be like, oh, my God, so poetic. So poetic. Fuck that fat black nigger.
Oh, dang.
Yeah.
Damn.
That's what's going to happen.
It got dark.
Yeah, I know. All right, let's switch gears. Switching gears, Netflix is raising its prices again in 2026. They're doing it this month, man.
God dang.
Yeah, so Netflix has officially released its U.S. subscription prices again, effective late March 2026, marketing the second price hike in just over a year. Standard ads now cost $8.99. So you got to have ads on there with $8.99. Y'all done lost y'all goddamn mind. While standard and premium plans rose $2, $19.99 and $26.99 respectively. The hikes support a planned $20 billion content spent in 2026, including more live events. The moment I seen Jake Paul's bitch ass and them fights, that's when I knew they was finna get us with these fucking prices. That's when I knew. The moment I seen Mike Tyson up there and he was like, I'm a real fighter. I haven't fought in a long time. It's been a long time since I've been in the ring. I'm trying to figure out what I'm going through in my life. He's like, oh God. Once he got up there, I was like, Mike and these other fighters, was it Lamar Wood? Not Lamar Woodley. What's his name? From the UFC, something Woodley. Anyways, Woodley got knocked the fuck out by Jake Paul. Mm-hmm. Once I seen these fights popping up, I said, you know what? Yeah, they're gonna start turning this shit into HBO Junior.
Yeah.
I don't like that. I'm gonna tell you something else. I'm gonna tell you why I'm going to deactivate my Netflix account. I'm going to deactivate my Netflix account for this very reason. I'll just reactivate it whenever they have something really interesting, and I'm gonna cut that bitch right back off. Like if it's a show, like I've been hearing about it, everybody's like, you gotta watch that, man. It's a good show. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Let me turn this shit back on.
Yeah.
But if it ain't nothing like that on, I'm not. It's gonna be no flicks in this house. It's gonna be no flicks and chill like a motherfucker.
You like a pay for play kind of guy.
Yeah. I'm not, man. First of all, if y'all gonna have me paying all this money, you better start showing some porn on there or something. We need to see some titties for $20 a month. What the fuck are you doing? Yeah, that's crazy.
Netflix with like 5 X's at the end.
Yeah, you might as well start bang flicks. Fuck it. Put some bang flicks on there, man.
Sex flicks.
Sex flicks, yeah. They got to start. I'm telling you, man, they keep this shit up. They might as well just merge OnlyFans on that motherfucker. You gonna make us pay all this money.
I think obviously I don't like paying more money, but I will say that I think that the value of Netflix now has rose dramatically.
Absolutely.
With the live sports, they had baseball on there on I don't know how many days a week, but on Wednesday the opening games, like the Yankees and the Giants game, was on Netflix. So in terms of the value of it, like I think that it's a good value now. Back in the day when it was just friggin' movies and a bunch of Netflix movies, you know that period where they had started removing like all the other content because like Netflix and HBO and everybody had their own streaming service. That moment where it was like, dang, this ain't really worth nothing. But now like they have live sports and, you know, boxing matches and stuff like that. I think it does have more value now. But this has always been the plan. I think if anybody knew anything about business, you would know that for a long time Netflix was operating at a loss. Like they were losing money year to year in terms of the amount of money they were putting out and the amount of money that they were getting back. So they're going to keep chipping away at this thing until they can, you know, live primarily in a green. And I think that that's kind of where they're on their way to. And I think they're spending more money, but I think the live sports is going to be the thing that kind of helps them stay afloat and trying to, you know, make deals with these big superstar actors and stuff like that.
I hear you. You're right, man. But I just need more. If I'm gonna be paying this money, I want all kind of extra channels. Like I want embedded channels on there that I don't even need. Mm-hmm. Like I want to be swiping through it, like, or it'll be like they'll be in French, like change another channel. Now it's in Spanish. Change another channel. Now it's Philippines. I just want every channel. You know. I'm a Newton. Like, well, shit, French porn, why not? If I'm paying $20 for this shit.
Porn in every language, like, like, so I'm going to show you little koi.
Arigato. That's crazy. Yeah, man. Yeah, but I think I'm going to be cutting my shit off, man. That's a little pricey. I don't have the most premium. I have the second premium. So mine's the standard premium, and it's 17, but it's going to go to 19.
Yeah.
Just like, fuck that. And I'm going to tell you the main reason why, too. They're getting us used to not owning anything, and I don't like it. Like, I think that when you have a favorite show, let's say, for example, you got Seinfeld, right? And Seinfeld's on Netflix, and you're like, you know what? I'll get to that show because I want to watch some episodes from 1995 that I haven't seen, but I'm busy right now. So I'll come back to that next month. And then you go back to find Seinfeld, and it's gone. Mm-hmm. And it's like, I'm still paying $20-something, but the shit that I wanted to watch is no longer there. Why am I still doing this? Mm-hmm. Like, that's fucked up. I want to be able to still I feel like once you put something on that platform, it needs to stay.
Yeah.
It needs to stay. Hold on. It needs to stay, or they need to give you the option to request for something that you were watching.
Yeah. It's just too many different production companies involved, you know. So if you got Seinfeld might be, I don't know, what did that come on, like CBS or something back in the day? Whatever network it came on, and then, you know, say you want to watch Fresh Prince, that's on whatever network, CBS or whatever that came on, and it's just too many separate networks for those kind of things. That's why Netflix is primarily, you know, moving towards original content now. So yeah.
Yeah. I'll say this though. There's like a Netflix that you could log into. It's like an international version. Have you heard about it?
I know you can use what are those things called?
I don't even know.
Basically, it kind of moves your IP address around.
Yes.
Yeah, I forget what those things
Yeah,
are
and
called.
I see somebody log into it and it's like, I can't find my favorite show. And then they logged into that like international one and it was all there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know the show that I'm telling you, like, in my opinion, the show that was better than The Walking Dead, because The Walking Dead sucks now, but it used to be a great show. At its peak, The Walking Dead was like my favorite show, right? Mm-hmm. But a show that I feel that was better than The Walking Dead was a show called Black Summer, and they just didn't bring it back. And it sucked, because I'm like, oh, I can't wait till the next season.
Yeah.
And I watched that shit, it had to be probably 7 years ago. 6 or 7 years ago, one of them. And I was like, fuck, where's my show, bro? And it was, the way the zombies were was super dope. Like, the zombies turned into like just these freaks, and they'd be like, ah. And I don't know, it was just different. It wasn't the typical zombie show. And they just got rid of it, which sucked. And
It was on Netflix?
Yeah, it was on Netflix. There was another show, there was a movie that was, it was called Exit Humanity. You guys might be able to find some of this stuff, because I'm a really cool person. I have like really good taste. Anyways, there was a show. Go ahead.
I was going to say the thing with Netflix is that back in the day, if a show was not like super successful in real time, it could still end up on streaming services, like a kind of quote unquote syndicated type of thing. Like that's kind of what happened with Breaking Bad. You know, it kind of brought the show new life. Because I know RJ Mitty, he was doing an interview and he was talking about like, man, we were struggling to get by, like struggling to get picked up every season because, you know, not that many people were watching it. But, you know, when it got on streaming services, it kind of brought a new life to it, and they were able to, you know, kind of get through the last season or whatever. But what happens when the show is already on streaming service? You know what I mean? Like, if it's not being watched there, then it's never gonna find that kind of like cult following because it's already on Netflix, you know. And if they're not watching it there, then it's never gonna find its audience. So sometimes, you know, like, even if it's a good show, it just doesn't catch, you know, and people are not really watching it. They're not really tuned in. I think that's what a little bit happened to with the Vince Staples show. You know, the ratings were really low, and it never really found its audience, and then it just was done for.
Yeah. Yeah, I just hate how we've like assimilated, I guess, to a culture of not owning anything. People are buying video games digitally. I'm not with that shit. When I buy a PS5 game, I want hardware because I got the new MLB The Show, and it just comes with less though. Like when I bought the game last year, it came with a baseball card. There's no card this year. What the fuck, man?
Yeah,
I hate that.
Yeah, they should have put something in there.
Yeah, because I'm trying to have it as real collector's items. But anyways, yeah, Netflix, your days are numbered. Netflix is, but in all honesty, Netflix is kind of, for me, it's kind of like not plateaued, but it's just regular right now. Because after Stranger Things went off, I've been kind of conflicted. Like, why do I still have this?
It definitely has its lulls. I think that's the same thing with fights too. It's almost like, is it more valuable to just buy the fight? Right. You know, when the next big, like maybe Floyd Mayweather or whatever, fight, you just buy the pay-per-view and then just not pay the monthly fee.
Or if you're me, you may or may not have something that allows you to watch everything you need to watch anyways. So going to expand
A
it.
little streaming service.
All I know is all I can say is that the thing that I may or may not have has paid itself off 10 times over.
Tenfold.
Yeah. All the pay-per-views, everything I needed to get, I've got it. No problems. Actually, last night, I thought my remote was dying because you know how you need the remote.
Yeah.
I went and grabbed some new AAA batteries, working like a top.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. So
That's what's up.
yeah, man. Let's go ahead and move on. Switching gears. This is kind of a dark topic, but let's get through it. The UN. Recently, the UN voted that the slavery is the biggest crime against humanity in history. So let me give you a rundown of what this means. So on March 25th, 2026, the UN General Assembly adopted a resolution. 123 countries and 3 people that opposed, so 123 and 3, declaring the transatlantic trafficking of enslaved Africans as the gravest crime against humanity, calling for reparations. The only countries that opposed this whole this resolution was the United States, Israel, and Argentina. Those 3, and we talk about how bad these other countries are, how they're terrorists and they're shithole countries, but they all agreed that slavery was the biggest crime against humanity. Mm-hmm. And the United States said no. That's insane. And what kills me is Israel also said that it wasn't. And what's wild about that is I believe I don't know if it's still to this day, but they received reparations / restitution from Germany. Mm-hmm. So how can you oppose something like slavery that lasted 400 fucking years and you getting reparations? What the fuck are we talking about? Mm-hmm. That's the thing that's crazy. So it says, proposed by Ghana with support from African Union and CARICOM. Opposition to U.S., Israel, and Argentina voted against it. There was 52 abstentions. So 52 nations, they just basically said they didn't want no part of it, right? The main points, the resolution calls for reparations, the return of stolen cultural items, and acknowledge the lasting systemic impacts of chattel slavery. Now, let me be clear when I say this. What's wild about, like, why like foundational Black Americans and Africans and people of that nature have not gotten reparations, and people say they call it a handout. Here's my issue. How can you call it a handout when all of the slave owners got paid? They got paid for loss of wages. And it literally took up until 2016 to pay them off. Did you know that? Mm-hmm. Which is crazy. Mm-hmm. So when they talk about, like, slavery was so long ago, okay, it was so long ago, then why did they take up to 2016 to pay all of the descendants of slave masters up to 2016? That is literally 10 years ago. Mm-hmm. There's a lot that you people do not know about what is going on in the world. And I think that the ignorance of people and the lack of information, I've never seen so many people that are so strong in opinions without any information. Mm-hmm. It's wild to me, man. When it came to, and also, it's not a handout. It's 400 years of free fucking labor. Also, when the Japanese got put in internment camps in the 40s, they got paid reparations from the United States government. When the Native Americans almost got wiped out, they got paid restitution, and they got reservations and casinos and whatnot. So there's a history of us paying people restitution, except for Black people, which is wild. That's wild. I would love my check. I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. I'm not a person that looks for handouts, but this is not a handout because somebody got to get paid. Well, you weren't a slave. Well, no, I wasn't a slave, but my ancestors were. Give me that check. If you was to ask my ancestors, does he deserve a check? They would tell you, yeah.
Yeah.
Give Eddie a check.
Yeah.
So he could, grow his podcast. If I get my reparations check, let me be very clear. This podcast will have about 7 producers on here. And this will be the most well-produced podcast you ever seen on the fucking internet. Yeah. I'll put my reparations to use, goddammit.
I think part of this thing which kind of, because not only did 3 countries vote no, there was like 24 countries that abstained from actually
52.
52.
They abstained.
Didn't answer at all. So
Yes.
that I wouldn't say that's worse, but saying no is probably worse. But not saying anything is is whatever. But I think that some of it is like the lingo, like kind of there's something that mentions in there, like basically they're putting like horrible things in a hierarchy, like this is worse than this, and I think that that's part of the lingo that makes it so that like you can kind of justify yourself saying like no or abstaining from it, because you're comparing essentially like slavery to genocide or whatever, and it's like which one you're kind of comparing essentially like a bunch of heinous things, and I think that that's kind of where people that voted a certain way could kind of slip through the cracks or say that they don't want to vote on this, whatever. So I think that's kind of the lingo. The lingo to me is like what kind of got a little weird. I think if you're just saying like this is a terrible thing that happened, and do the offspring or whatever of these slaves, do they deserve some sort of reparations? I think that's one conversation. But I guess when you start to compare it, I think that that's where you can kind of get people to justify them not agreeing with how severe it was. So,
Yeah, I think the countries that had the abstentions, I think they were like, I don't want to get cut off. I don't want to get cut off by America. I don't want to get cut off by America and Israel, so let me just say I don't want nothing to do with this. That's what it sounds like to me. Yeah, but you know what, man? It is what it is, man. I think if they feel like they don't want to pay, they're not going to. But I will say that all these institutions that benefited from that time, whether it's the banking systems, that actually took out loans on they used slaves as collateral and covered slaves. Like they had slave insurance. You know that, right? That's crazy.
Yeah. I mean, they were property. That makes sense.
Yeah. Oh my God, man. So I mean, these companies still operate today. So if you say that slavery was so long ago, I could literally destroy that statement by stating yes, it was so long ago, but we didn't benefit from it. Right? There was some lady saying like, actually, black people created slavery, and here's proof. And I'm thinking like, lady, if you don't shut the fuck up.
Yeah, she's that's incorrect.
Yeah, it's highly misinformed.
Owning a slave or slaves and starting slavery is 2 completely different things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And not only that, if that's the case, then why didn't they benefit from it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just dumb. There's people get on the internet. I think there's a confirmation bias where people are like, see, I told you. All they do is complain about slavery, but they're the ones that started it.
Yeah.
They're the ones, it's not exclusive to America. Slavery was everywhere. It's like, bro, let's not soften the blow of slavery in this country. It was 400 years. 400. Can you imagine 400 years of owning people and then telling them people to get over it?
Yeah.
Like, man, get the fuck out of here, man. Give me my check. Give me my goddamn check. I can use it. Anyways.
Yeah.
Switching gears. Dad arrested for repairing street and adding a stop sign. This is triggering to me. Simply because it's a father that was trying to protect the kids in the neighborhood.
Man, that's crazy, right?
You know what I'm saying? So it says, I'll read a little caption here. It says, Joseph Brandlin with his 12-year-old son Joey stands in his front yard in front of the intersection where he installed 2 new stop signs and painted a stop sign in paint on the street. It says, oh, come on. A longtime El Segundo resident was arrested earlier this month after installing unauthorized stop signs at a neighborhood intersection he says has become increasingly dangerous for children. Joseph Brandlin, 44, who has lived in El Segundo more than 4 decades, said he took matters into his own hands after months of unsuccessful attempts to get city officials to address safety concerns about intersection of Loma Vista Street and Acacia Avenue. The intersection is currently a two-way stop and is located near Acacia Park, Children's Park, that reopened after renovation in 2021. I care deeply about the safety of our neighborhood and the families that live here, Brandon said. Brandon raised concerns about the intersection last year. He and other residents submitted a petition with roughly 50 signatures requesting additional stop signs. The city later said it was conducted a traffic evaluation, but residents were not notified when it took place and saw no visible evidence of it. Come on, man. Ridiculous. Anyways. Oh, hold on. The city ultimately determined the intersection did not meet the required traffic volume for additional stop signs. Okay, let me be clear when I say this. It's not about volume all the time. It's about different measures. So basically, what they mentioned,
human beings.
what they mention is where the stop sign is. There's like a little steep grade going up, so you can build speed going down the hill, and people just drive through there. And there's a children's park near there.
Yeah,
it should be a 4-way stop, but it's only a stop on each side of the street when there should actually be a stop on all corners,
stop.
so everybody could stop and reestablish. Establish themselves again before they go across because there's children around.
Yeah.
I'm going to say this. This is what would have happened. What would have happened is if he didn't put the stop sign there and he keeps telling them and he relies on the city to fix it, a kid's going to get hit by a fucking car and then they're going to be like, you know what, we need to install a stop sign. So, nigga, it took a kid to get hit by a car for y'all to do that?
That's usually what happens. Like, you'll see... You ever been driving through a neighborhood and somebody got the little plastic turtle thing on the street?
Yes.
It's like drive. It says different things.
Yes.
Like
yes, I know what you're talking about.
Drive here as if your kids were outside playing or like little
Yes.
things like that. Like,
Yeah.
And the reason why people do that is because in many of these neighborhoods, especially when it's like neighborhoods that people drive through to get to certain places.
Yeah.
Yeah, people be driving too fast.
Bro, it's annoying. I think what really makes me mad, maybe because I'm getting older or just maybe because I'm a safe driver, but I seen people driving fast in the Trader Joe's parking lot. Like, where the fuck are you going that important when you got to drive that fast, you idiot? Slow down.
Yeah.
Especially in a neighborhood. If you're in somebody's neighborhood, like on a street, why are you driving 25 miles an hour?
No, I've been in like in certain neighborhoods, and not necessarily like residential, but that kind of transition from like normal streets to like residential.
Yeah.
Where it might be like 35 miles per hour and people are driving around me. Like they're just too impatient.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And it might be like 8 a.m. You know what I mean?
Crazy.
Like, dog, where are you going this early in the morning? So I don't know. I'm a person like, you know, those are preventative measures. You know, when you got a kid that wants to play outside and you don't want your kid, you know, we always talk about not wanting kids to be stuck inside on the games all day. That's the type of thing that's going to force your kid to stay in the house and, you know, play the Nintendo or play the PlayStation all day because they don't want their kids playing on these unsafe streets. But yeah, I think it's kind of mind-boggling because it'd be so much stuff like wrong with our streets, like whether it be potholes and things like that, and people be like, yo, I'm tired of the city taking too long to do this or taking too long to fix this. I'm going to do it myself. And, yeah, so shout out to him. Hopefully you get a little GoFundMe action going on and, you know, pay for all his lawyer fees and stuff like that if he need help because we need more dads like that.
Yeah, I think ultimately, too, what happens is when I see people that are impatient, I know you're going to get in an accident. I don't want anything to do with it. I don't want nothing to do with that.
The worst be like when you see bad drivers in their car be like dented up. Be like,
it's like you didn't learn the last time, nigga, when they hit you 4 times.
Yeah.
It's like if I see your car and it's got a big accident on it, I'm gonna let you do whatever you want. You want to get over it? You want to cross 4 lanes, man? Go right ahead. You good? I think what I've learned since I've been driving 11 years is freaking. Being a truck driver, you can almost see or anticipate accidents before they happen. I've seen people that are weaving in and out of traffic. You ever see somebody that drives like this? They'll be like, this lane, this lane, this lane, that lane, and they doing it over and over. I'm like, man, that guy's not being safe. And mind you, I'm going about 58 miles an hour, maybe 60 at the most. I'm in my truck at work. And then about a mile and a half up, I see that same car flipped upside down. I'm like, that nigga, I already see why that happened. Like, I'm not shocked by it. I'm just like, hey, I hope he's all right.
Driving crazy.
Oh, man, I've seen some horrific accidents where I didn't even want to look. I'm like, man, people got to,
Yeah, you see that stuff far too often, man.
Especially in L.A. I call, because I'm in L.A. every day for work. I call Los Angeles lost accidents. Because that's what you're going to see daily in that bitch. L.A., they are in a rush to not. People that live in L.A., it's like instead of drinking coffee, it's like they snorted a line of cocaine and they got on the 405. It's like, what the fuck are y'all doing, man? Shit. Yeah. And I had to, I think also, too, depending on when the Dodgers play, I try to adjust my shift so I don't got to be near that stadium. Because when you get near that stadium and because I got to go through the heart of L.A.
Yeah.
And I got to go right by Dodger Stadium and off the 5. Because there's a street, there's Stadium Way. Stadium Way will take you into, it'll veer you off to the right and take you to the stadium. I stay on the I-5 because I got to take the 710 in order to get over to the port at Long Beach. So, I farted. So, yeah. That fart threw my brain chemistry off. Anyways, LA's traffic bad. Yeah, right. I relieve myself with my fart. All right, let's go ahead and switch gears. Switching gears, Tiger Woods. We'll wrap it up with this one. Tiger Woods in another DUI crash, man. This is just very unfortunate. Let me get the details on Tiger. I don't think I had the link there. Let me see here. Tiger Woods. In another accident. Here we go. All right. Tiger Woods arrested at crash scene on suspicion of DUI. 15-time major champion Tiger Woods was arrested on suspicion of DUI on Friday after he was involved in a crash not far from his home on Jupiter Island in Florida, according to Martin County Sheriff. The sheriff said Woods was driving a Land Rover northbound on South Beach Road at a high speed when he attempted to pass a truck hauling a pressure cleaner, which had slowed to turn into the driveway. Woods' SUV swerved to avoid the truck but clipped the back of a trailer. The Land Rover flipped on its side and slid down the road. Woods climbed out of the passenger window to get out. Oh, my God. Brunswick said Woods and the other driver weren't injured. The accident occurred around 2 p.m. Eastern Time. Woods is 50 years old now. Tiger Woods, 50, was arrested on suspicion of misdemeanor DUI, property damage, and refusal to submit a lawful test. He arrived at the jail at 3 p.m. and was released on bail later Friday. Dang. Let me tell you something. I told Keith this before the pod. What I've learned about people is we could be like masters in whatever said thing, like whether it's podcasting, we could be elite podcasters, we could be elite athletes, we could be elite musicians, or whatever. You could be great parents, but there is always at least one thing that we are failing at. There is one attribute that we are failing at, and Tiger Woods is clearly an alcoholic. He's been stopped numerous times. He's had 2 DUI, or 3 that we know of. One of them, two accidents, correct, Keith? Because he had the other accident before this.
Yeah, that I remember.
Yeah, and then he had a DUI stop, which is very popular. So he's had 3 DUI-related issues. Number 1, Tiger Woods, you need to have your license taken away. Period. You shouldn't even be able to drive one of those carts at the fucking golf course at this point. I don't trust Tiger with a golf cart at all. Tiger needs to get chauffeured everywhere he goes. I just think this is a guy that, as an uncontrollable drunk, we could have watched the end of Tiger Woods. He could have died. He could have died. Because if he's driving the way he's driving around a truck, this could have been totally different. I don't think Tiger realizes that. I think he has a legit illness. It's sad what alcoholism can do to people, man. This is why I strongly advise people, don't drink. Just because drinking is legal doesn't mean it's okay. That just means they make a shitload of money on it. That's all it means.
Yeah. I wonder, too, like, because none of this stuff happened when he was in his prime of his career, and I wonder if it was an issue then. But if it wasn't, like, is this something tied to like his success as an athlete? You know, like when we all have, you know, did the J. Cole fall off thing and that conversation around like what does life look like when you're not in your prime anymore? You know, I wonder how much that takes a toll on him, you know, for a person that was golfing since he was like, you know, yay high, you know what I mean, to his probably his 30s. Like, is it a thing where because he doesn't have that thing that he, you know, did so often as his main thing anymore, like is that the thing that's driving him to
I will say this,
drunk all the time?
I will draw a parallel between Kanye West and Tiger Woods. I feel like after Kanye West's mother passed away, we seen a side of Kanye that started to become more and more eccentric behavior and things of that nature. And after Tiger Woods' dad passed away in 2006, this could be one of the issues that happened after. I'm not making like I'm an expert on this, but there's a possibility that could be the case. You know, because when he was when he's in his prime, this was not too much of a conversation of him being being an alcoholic. So I don't know for sure, but some people, when their parents die or somebody they love passes away, they self-destruct. They, you know, the drinking can become a normalized behavior. And I've never been an alcoholic, but there was one time where I almost became one and I didn't realize it. In 2008, 2009, I lost a job. And as I lost a job, I had a couple homies. We was all unemployed at the time, looking for work. But we would all meet up at the homie's house and just be drinking and chopping it up, talking and stuff. And it became a thing where multiple times a week we was drinking beer and talking. And then one day I was like, oh, dang, I need a beer. And I'm thinking like, what do you mean you need a beer, nigga? No, you don't. And I'm like, bro,
need a beer.
I've been drinking. I've been drinking 4 times this week. This is not me, man. After that, I didn't drink the rest of the fucking year. I didn't have one beer. You know how I knew I started to have a drinking problem? I was drinking Bud Ice one night. I'm like, nigga, this shit ain't even good.
Rock gut.
It's rock gut beer. This ain't even good beer, man. Bud Ice?
Yeah.
I'm like, man, I need help.
Yeah. I think it's crazy to see, you know, the people that Tiger Woods is like, you know, like the GOAT for us. We don't even know golf. We just know golf because of Tiger Woods. Just the amount of people he inspired. You know that because just how many rap lyrics he was in, you know, just different bars people got off using Tiger Woods' name, only for him to become somewhat of a joke. Like I remember that Ludacris song that came out where he was kind of like making fun of Tiger Woods and him getting caught in a scandal and, you know, him trying to save face by talking to the girl he was cheating on his wife with and all this other stuff. I'm like, dog, you fell off a cliff, man. That's just, it's sad to watch. But you know, it's like it goes to show you like there are people that are doing it much more graceful than Tiger Woods. Like rest in peace, Kobe Bryant, but Kobe was just coaching his daughter in hoop. You know what I mean? Like, you know, we didn't hear any crazy things. He's writing short films and writing books and stuff like that. You got Michael Jordan, who is owning the racing team, and his driver is winning like back to back, like going crazy. You don't hear all these crazy scandals about him drinking and getting drunk, and you know, and it's like I don't know. There's really no excuse for you to be driving under the influence. It's too dangerous, and you got too much money to be putting yourself in that position. So. Tiger Woods, nigga, get your stuff together, bro.
Yeah, easier said than done. You got, you know, you're mega millionaire and everybody's kissing your ass. They don't see a problem with you doing that. That's the problem too. You gotta hope that you're grounded enough to know better. But you got kids, man.
Yeah,
Tiger's got kids, and they're older kids too.
Yeah, you playing a dangerous game.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah.
So yeah, Tiger.
So hopefully he don't get no little slap on the wrist. Like he need to do some real rehabilitation or something.
Yeah. Well, I guess you just sending positive energy to Tiger Woods, man. You got to get it together, homeboy. Mm-hmm. Well,
and get you a black woman, man. She'll set you straight.
I don't know if Tiger can handle that. I don't know if he can handle that because she'll straighten him out real quick. She'll look at Tiger like, I don't want to hear none of that white man shit out of you, Tiger Woods. Like, what do you mean white? What do you mean by that? I'm racially ambiguous. What are you talking about?
This is so crazy.
I'm not white or black. I'm Tiger Woods.
Yeah, like he been in the limelight so long. But this is kind of like when you're seeing like Shia LaBeouf or like these guys. I just think what that amount of notoriety and resources and money and accolades and talent does to, like, I don't think our brains is designed for that. And, you know, I think this is the ramifications of all of that. One day he might have a biopic about him, and that's going to be wild. Yeah. It's going to be like Wolf of Wall Street type stuff.
Yeah, it's going to be like, I've had a tough win. Now it's time to get some beer and some pussy. Like, oh, Tiger Woods.
Preferably white pussy.
Yeah, that's Tiger Woods. That's his kryptonite. That's his kryptonite right there. They're like, Tiger, you can do it.
Nah, his kryptonite is not white pussy. His kryptonite is mid white pussy.
What's that mean?
Like just mediocre looking.
Well, like
white girls.
Like white girls that go to like what's that place? Lululemon, the Lululemon white girls.
Yeah, not even the what do you call it? What they do for a living, more so just, or what they do like in their spare time, but just the way they look.
Yeah, like I'm a mail carrier. Oh, fuck.
I'm dead.
I'm a car salesman. You're not a swimsuit model?
Yeah, that's that. Yeah, like he can have the freaking runway models, but he'd rather have the, you know, the car salesman. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that'd be bad.
That's funny.
Nah,
my stuff about to die. So
oh shit! Well, I got one last one. You're a Starbucks barista. Oh. All right.
What's
man,
another job? What's another job just mid?
Oh man. Oh, okay. Hold on. Oh, you work at Old Navy. Oh. Yeah, he totally. Like, you work at a kiosk in the mall. That's his kryptonite, man. Tiger Woods is losing energy fast. Let's wrap this up before we just shut the fuck off. Well, if you made it to the end of this episode, thank you for listening to a Trucker's Mind podcast. I'm Eddie McGee.
It's your boy K Fings.
We're out of here.
Peace.